Well, hello there and welcome back to my channel, or of course welcome to my channel if you're new. If you are new, then hello, lovely to meet you. My name is Alex, and if you are new here, make sure you stick around and subscribe. If you're not new and you've been here for a while, then why not make sure the notification bell is switched on just so you're notified of every single time that I upload. Now for today's video, I have a super exciting one because I'm going to be doing another dupes video, and we are going to be seeing if the W7 Sweet Nectar palette is a good dupe for the Too Faced 2 Femme eyeshadow palette. This is super exciting. I've been meaning to do this for a while, and I'm finally sitting down and doing it for you. So we're going to do swatch comparisons. I'm going to do obviously the same eye look on each eye just to see if you can get extremely similar looks using both of these palettes. So if you'd like to know if a W7 Sweet Nectar is a dupe, then please keep watching. Okay, so this is the Too Faced palette. This retails for £36. It's also actually very tiny, I think, in my opinion, for £36. This is much smaller than their like Born This Way eyeshadow palettes. I thought it was going to be similar size to that, but it's not. It is so much smaller. And then this is the colour story for the eyeshadow palette. So this is actually completely brand new for me. I've not touched this at all. So it's kind of a first impressions on this at the same time, but also we're going to be finding out if the W7 one is a dupe. So yeah, this is what the eyeshadow palette looks like. There is also a mirror in here. Okay, and then this is the W7 palette. This is called Sweet Nectar. Now I have used this a couple of times, which is why mine isn't super pristine, but this is the color story again, very similar to Too Faced, and it also does have a mirror. Now this is currently sold out at the moment, the time that I'm filming this video. I will obviously link it down below so you can turn the notification on the product and it will notify you when it comes back in stock. I can't remember how much this is. I'm pretty sure it will be around £10, so it'll be like £9.95 or maybe a little bit more, but it is a fraction of the price of this palette. And like, look at the size difference between them. Like, this is £36 and this is like a tenner. It's absolutely crazy. Let's get into swatches of both of the palettes. Okay, I hope you can hear me because I've had to take my mic off, but I have swatched both palettes. Put your guesses in now. Which side is W7 and what side is Too Faced? I would love to know what your initial thoughts are. This is like the first time in forever I've done swatches as I'm filming, so this feels really, really weird. But any last guesses? In you go. Okay, so the top ones are W7 and the bottom ones are ABH. Now, they look pretty much identical. I think the only difference, which is the case with a lot of dupes, is that, you know, the smoothness and pigmentation of the high end is better than the drugstore. However, the shimmers are quite similar in texture. Like, even the Too Faced ones, a couple of them are quite crumbly like what the W7 ones are. So I think there is definitely a difference in quality with the mattes, but with the shimmers, I'd say they are pretty like bang on. But wow, that is an impressive dupe. So let's get testing this on the eye. Okay, we're going to do one eye at a time. I'm going to start off with Too Faced just so we know what the W7 one is up against. Now I have primed this. I've just used my Relove eye primer. This is literally like, I think £3 and it's so good. Okay, the look I'm going to do is kind of going to be similar to the ones I've done before, but you know, there is only so many looks you can do with the same colour stories. So I think firstly I'm going to start off with this shade here and I'm going to pop that in my crease. Okay, ignore the ugly now, but I'm next going to take this peachy shade here. I've actually got two ugly nails, get them sorted tomorrow finally before I go on holiday. Okay, so that peachy one's a little bit on powdery side, but nothing major. And I mean, it is going on absolutely beautifully. See how like with high-end palettes, like the shades just blend together so easily, like with minimal effort. And then to blend out the top edge, I'm going to take the pinky shade here. I'm going to keep the look super soft, so I'm going to take this big pan here. I mean, I'd rather, you know, 2 extra pans in the palette, but it's totally fine. And I'm going to just pop a little bit of this in my outer and inner corner. Okay, for the middle of my lid, I'm going to take this shimmer up here. I'm going to take it on my finger. Now, from the W7 palettes, these were quite crumbly. These ones are not crumbling as easily as the W7 ones. This one has stayed pretty much intact in the pan, whereas the W7 was crazily crumbly. We do have a little bit of fallout from the shimmer, but it's really not a lot. Like, the particles in the shade are quite small, so you don't really show up that much. And just for a little bit of blending, I'm going to take this shimmer here, either side. I don't need loads of it because it's already quite blended. Okay, and then for the lower lash line, I'm going to take this purpley shade here. And then for the inner corner and brow bone, I'm going to go in with the mint shade here. Okay, so that is my look I've created with the Too Faced 2 Femme palette. I know I didn't use the mint, but I did use the mint in my 2 previous looks I've done with the W7 one. So I thought I would just mix it up and just use the mint shimmer for the inner corner and brow bone. I'm now going to do this exact same tutorial with the W7 one, but I'm going to just like speed it up quickly, just because you don't need to blabber through the whole thing again. I'm using the exact same like replica shade. So once I've done the tutorial for this one, I can then sit and look at both and we can compare. Okay, and then this is the look with the W7 side. So what do we think? Do my eyes look extremely similar? Is there a slight difference? Do you think you'd be able to tell that there's different palettes on both eyes? Okay, so if I was to be extremely critical, I'd say that the purple reflex in this shimmer, just as an example of one of the shades that I've used, is a lot more intense than the W7. With the W7, there isn't really a lot of purple reflex in it than there is in this shade. The mattes look very, very similar. I feel like I've blended this eye slightly higher. There is a little bit of a gap there. There you go, that might match a little bit better. I don't know if that made any difference at all. But if I was to look from far away, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think you could really tell, to be honest. The inner corner looks exactly the same. Like, the green shimmer is extremely similar. Like, there's no doubt about that. Looks like I've got the exact same palette on both eyes. The mattes in general do really look the same, if I'm honest. I think the only thing that's throwing me off is the shimmer on my lid, just because hopefully you'll be able to tell on camera that the purple reflex in this eye are just slightly more purple than this eye, you know? But I genuinely think that's the only difference between the two eyes. If I went out and about, I don't think anyone would be able to tell, which is great, because this is not only bigger and has, you know, more product, which I think it does. Yeah, so the W7 has more product than the Too Faced one, and it's like a third of the price, even less than a third of the price. So I'm really happy with this. Okay, makeup is now complete. For my mascara, I used my Kylash mascara by Kylie Cosmetics, and my lips are a combo using, my goodness, the new P. Louise lipstick palette. This, as I just said, is new. You can now buy this on her website and on TikTok shop. This is what it looks like. We got it in this month's budget box, and I used this shade and that shade for the center of my lips. Very cute lipstick palette. I've never used one of those before. So this is my completed makeup. Now, be honest, now that I've got the rest of my makeup on, like mascara and lipstick, does it look like I've got two different palettes on? Because I don't think it does, you know. I really think from a distance you cannot tell at all that these are two different palettes, which makes my heart happy. The only thing is still the shimmer on this side looks more purpley, but I don't think anyone's going to notice that. So for me, I think we have a successful dupe on our hands. If you've been looking into getting the Too Faced one, but it's too pricey, which I think it is too pricey. For a small palette like this, £36, sorry. I think you should opt for the W7 one when this eventually, hopefully, comes back in stock. So we have successfully got a dupe. We love to see it. Okay, I'm going to wrap this video up here. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please let me know by smashing the thumbs up button. Let me know down below, do you think this is a dupe as well? I'd love to know all your opinions. And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.